Hey everyone, welcome back. In my previous video I showed you how to make Sparkle's awesome mask. But guess what, I also spotted in her trailer. She doesn't actually use it in game, but as a prop making addict I couldn't resist making it. And to take things up a notch, we're making the cylinder rotate just because it's kinda cool. First things first, the template. This gun is actually quite simple. Before I started making videos I would probably just print a picture and use that. But for better accuracy, we've got a template waiting for you in the video description below. Don't forget to scale it to your desired size. I made mine actually pretty big for easier holding. If you don't care about the rotating cylinder, you can just make a base and glue everything on it for a quicker build. But since I really wanted it to rotate, I had to split the template up into smaller pieces. This gun is pretty small, so it's a good way to get rid of some EVA foam scraps. Let's go over the thickness of all the pieces of this gun. For the base I used 3 layers of 5mm EVA foam. The grip is a little thicker, so I used 4 layers instead. The trigger, sight, hammer and these things are all made out of 1 layer of 5mm EVA foam. For the gun barrel we can use a PVC tube with 5mm foam glued around it. For the cylinder I used this foam dowel, which is 40mm thick. Depending on what skill you are going to build this gun, the size might be different for you. And last there is the detail on the grip, which I made out of 1 layer of 2mm EVA foam. Once you've cut out all the pieces, it's time to glue the layered pieces together. And then it's time to bring out the dremel. Most pieces just need some smoothing, because cutting out everything perfectly can be really tough. But the gun barrel, cylinder and these little details need some extra shaping. We need to make a flat surface on the top and bottom of the barrel so we can glue it onto the base of the gun. And these pieces, they need to be rounded. This can be a bit tricky since they are so small. The cylinder needs some detail carved into it. You can even add bullet chambers if you want, but it's not going to be super visible. You could also just paint them on or leave them out. It's up to you. Lastly, we can also give the grip some rounded edges that will make it more comfortable to hold. Since we're going for that rotating cylinder, we need to drill some holes. 1 all the way through the cylinder and 2 holes in the base of the gun. An aluminum rod will become our rotation point, but it won't spin smoothly on its own. So to fix this I made some bearings out of PVC tubing to reduce the friction between the rod and the foam. I didn't have the correct size though, so I heated it up and reshaped them into tinier sized circles. The grip needs some personality, so let's try to add some texture. I'm using the texture side of this case, but you can use anything you have laying around with a cool pattern. Just heat up the foam piece and press and hold it firmly against your chosen texture. See, that looks pretty cool. Since we're using the heat gun now anyways, we can also heat seal the other pieces of the gun. Now it's time for some gluing. Since some pieces are hard to paint after assembly, we'll hold off on fully putting the gun together yet. I leave the top of the base open, so the cylinder can be put in after we paint it. Once you've assembled most of the gun, we can use some quick seal to fill in some of the gaps and to create more rounded edges. Now it's ready to be painted. Don't forget to use a few layers of primer first. The main targets here are the cylinder and the inside area where the cylinder will rotate. I already painted a bit more because I was impatient. Now we can finally assemble the entire gun and finish the rest of the base paint job. Now let's start painting those details. We need to make a flower on the side and the barrel has a stripe pattern. I painted the flower on by hand. This can be pretty hard, so take your time. For the stripe pattern I use masking tape. The hardest part here is putting the tape on the right way. I also added some screws and glued on the grip of the handle with super glue. And that's it for this build. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more epic pro builds. Next time I'll continue working on my Japar cosplay details, so I hope you are looking forward to that. See you in the next one.